call to order. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Thank you. I would ask you people to be quiet, listen to what I've got to say. I'm your elected mayor. I guess you all know that. And some of you think that I'm a lame duck. Some of you don't. I'd like to take this time to extend to you my message, and here it goes. I was elected your mayor. You told me to do a job, I did a job. You told me to clean up the corruption, I'm still cleaning it up. Listen until I'm done, then you make your decision. When I came in, I made a payroll deduction to the amount of $580,000. That's over $500,000. I did that 3 weeks after I got in. You people were paying a hell of a lot of tax money, and you weren't getting the return that you should have. Then I had to replace the payroll.
Why are you not calling the mayor out of order? This is not the...
Just a minute, will you?
No, this is not the agenda.
Right, we have a right.
Will you refrain from talking?
I'm sorry. Due to RCW 42.30080, you cannot be discussing this. It is not on the agenda. You cannot be discussing it at this meeting.
Sit down.
Will you please sit?
No, you sit. Sit down, Mayor. Sit down, Mayor.
Let our mayor speak. We voted him in.
No, I need to go home.
Okay. I can't give you my message, so I'll give you my message and my message to the people. I've got it here, but I guess I don't know the politics of being a mayor. All I can say is this.
You got that right.
Right now, I oppose the disincorporation of the city. I have obtained a battery of lawyers and paying them from my own pocket. Right now to the amount of almost $40,000 to protect the city and to keep from dissolving the city. Since I can't make this speech, what I'm going to do is, would you please sit down and don't bother me? What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this meeting over to the...
Good idea.
I'm going to turn this meeting over to the council, because it has nothing to do with the disincorporation of the city.
Here we go.
And when it's time to sign the resolution, I will not sign it.
There he goes.
Mom, let's go home.
Yeah. Right on cue. There he goes. Bye-bye.
You have to stay and listen.
Sit down.
You're the mayor. You're supposed to
Comments are for you,
I'm not going to stay because
You don't want to hear it. You're not going anywhere. Resign now. You're doing it because you don't want to hear what people have to say. Sit down.
Guier to bring up this issue.
Okay, the special meeting was called to bring to a vote and open up for public comment a resolution number 12-1217, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Pacific, Washington, consenting to the annexation of the territory of the City of Pacific, Washington into the City of Auburn, Washington, simultaneously with the de-annexation of the City of Pacific pursuant to RCW 35.10.217, in parentheses 2. Whereas RCW 35.10.217 authorizes the legislative body of a city or town on its own initiative by resolution to indicate its desire to annex property of another city or town in whole or in part, or to indicate its desire to be annexed into a city or town in whole or part, which annexation shall become effective upon the adoption of resolution by another city or town concurring in its annexation. And whereas, after consultations between officials and representatives of the cities of Pacific and Auburn, it is determined that it would be advantageous to both cities for all of the territory within the corporate limits of the City of Pacific to be annexed into the City of Auburn, with the City of Pacific becoming de-annexed, and thereby, whereas in connection with such annexation, de-annexation, the cities of Auburn and Pacific have committed to coordinate and cooperate with respect to any financial, planning, property ownership, transportation, or development issues that would affect the cities of the annexation, de-annexation. And whereas, contemporaneous with the consideration of this resolution, the City of Pacific is considering this annexation, de-annexation action because of the issues facing its mutual benefits of both cities and their citizens. And whereas the annexation, de-annexation shall be effective following the adoption of resolutions by both cities of Auburn and Pacific in support of the annexation, de-annexation. Whereas the requirements of the State Environmental Policy Act and applicable environmental procedures have been complied with, and whereas this annexation, de-annexation is subject to review by the Washington State Boundary Review Boards for King and Pierce County. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Pacific as follows. Section 1. The City Council of the City of Pacific indicates pursuant to decisions of RCW 35-10.217 its desire to annex into the City of Auburn the territory of the City of Pacific with said annexation to concur contemporaneously with the de-annexation of the City of Pacific, which territory is legally described as follows. Territory of City of Pacific to be annexed to the City of Auburn. There will be, the legal description will be inserted at that point. Section 2, the mayor is directed to implement such administrative procedures as may be necessary to carry out such directives of this legislation, including the steps necessary to transfer assets, property, and financial materials to the City of Auburn in connection with the annexation, de-annexation. Section 3, the mayor is also directed to transmit copies of this resolution to the City Clerk of Auburn and to take steps to assure the notices of the public hearing at which a second resolution is adopted are mailed to the owners of property within the area proposed to be annexed in accordance with Chapter 35.43 RCW and Section 35-10.217 RCW. Section 4, City of staff are hereby authorized and directed to file the appropriate notice of intent to annex with the Washington State Boundary Review Boards of both King and Pierce County. Section 5, this resolution shall be in full force and effect upon passage among signatures herein. Comments from the council?
What's the council's pleasure?
Move to approve resolution 12-1217.
It's been moved and seconded that resolution number 12-1217 be approved. Council's comments?
I think I made my position fairly clear earlier during the workshop, but I'd like to take a moment to say again, there are a lot of people here tonight. Many of you are very angry with good reason. We cannot add items to the agenda that are not on the agenda. That includes changes to the mayor. So whatever your position is on that, tonight's meeting is about this particular proposal, and if you could please be civil in your comments. Please remember that whatever happens tonight, your neighbors are sitting here with you.
So I'd also like to add on to that. Those of you who typically attend council meetings know that there's kind of there is a process that we go about to do that debate. We read the resolution, we have a motion and a second, and then there's council comments and we debate it. And then once that debate's kind of died down, we open it up for audience comment. And then that's when you all get a chance to come up and give your feelings about the proposal. And then once that's done, then we finish any remaining council debate that may have been sparked from or ideas brought up by the audience debate, by the audience comments. When we do the audience comments, I think it's important to remember that a long-standing policy that we've had is we give everybody 3 minutes. And I've got a little timer here on my iPad that you'll see count down from 3 minutes. I usually don't start the timer until you've given your name and your address. Once you get into your remarks, then that's when it starts. When your 3 minutes is up, we ask that you wrap your comments up. We imagine there's going to be a lot of folks talking tonight, and the longer that you go, the less chance that the people behind you get a chance to go. We absolutely do not allow people to yield their time. So if you came here creative thinking, we'll get 8 people to yield their time to me and I get to go for 27 minutes, that doesn't work. Each single person gets their own 3 minutes and you don't get to transfer them back and forth. Once you've had your 3 minutes, that's your 3 minutes. We sure appreciate it, and we want to give that opportunity to everybody who wants to. The other thing to remember is that our rules of procedure, the rules that we hold each other to, is we don't argue or rebut comments from members of the audience. So if you have questions, it's perfectly fine for you to ask your questions. It may not be reasonable to expect us to answer them from here. It's certainly not reasonable for us to rebut or argue with you. So folks that came to argue may be a little bit disappointed. So just keep those things in mind. We want to hear from folks. I think maybe, if it's okay with council members, we'll skip our first round of debate, go straight to audience comment, and then we get a chance to speak after. You got an administrative thing?
One item we forgot to take care of when we started this meeting because of all the confusion is we need to take a roll call of council.
Councilmember Guier. Present. Councilmember Holsey. Councilmember Jones.
Here.
Councilmember McMahon. Councilmember Smith.
Here.
Councilmember Steiger.
Here.
Councilmember Walker. Yes, form.
Moved and seconded that we excuse council members Halsey and Walker. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Now, what we'll do is go straight to audience comments. Don.